There's a verse in scripture that says the meek shall inherit the earth. And in my opinion, it's one of the most widely misused and misunderstood verses in all of scripture. You see, the Greek translation for the word meek is praus, and praus was most often used to describe a war horse, an animal that had to be extremely powerful and extremely disciplined. It had to be able to face insurmountable odds to bear its rider into battle and do what it was told no matter what was going on around it. It was strength under control. The best way, in my opinion, that I've heard it described is Dr. Jordan Peterson says that the best contextualization of the word meek in Scripture is those who carry swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed, shall inherit the earth. I think that's a much better contextual translation of that. You see, weak men aren't meek. Weak men are just weak. A truly dangerous man is a beast under control. And today we're going to talk about why you need to be a truly dangerous man, and it's not going to look like exactly what you might think. Let's get started. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Jason. I'm the founder and CEO of Behind Bars Blueprint, an organization designed to specifically help men and women navigate the incarceration process from beginning to end and even beyond. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about why a man should become truly dangerous and what that actually means. You see, most men never become truly dangerous, and it's not because necessarily they're immoral. A lot of times it's because they're afraid. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of maybe their anger. They're afraid of confrontation, punishment. It could be a wide variety of things, judgment. It's something that, especially, and we're going to get into this, in the westernized culture, is become very, very prevalent. We are teaching men to not be men. And I don't mean this to be a masculine, chauvinistic, blah, blah, blah nonsense type of rant. This is something that's just simply the way it is, and it's been this way for centuries and always be this way because that's how it's been designed. You see, instead of men combining their strength with discipline, they shrink back, and they do it in the face of all the obstacles that we just listed and many, many more. So today we're going to go into what that looks like and how to become truly dangerous in a way that's going to be effective for you, your family, your loved ones, and society as a whole. The first thing that's happened, in my opinion, is that the westernized male, especially the westernized Christian male, has pretty much been hijacked. They've been taught to be harmless. They've been taught to be agreeable, to be passive. You know, a good Christian man, well, he wouldn't offend anybody. He wouldn't step on anybody's toes. So why should women care about this? Why should women have a stake in this and be concerned for this? Well, it's very simple. You know, we're designed to live in harmony with each other. You know, men and women coexist, as simple as that. And everyone has their role to play. And again, this is not a chauvinistic, masculine, toxic type video. I'm not going in there. I'm saying, we each have our strengths and weaknesses. And quite honestly, we've lost that in the westernized civilization. That men are designed to be dangerous, but controlled. And that's where we've lost two aspects on that. We have harmless men, and harmless men are just useless men, let's be honest. Or then you have men that are just dangerous, but they're not controlled. Also, not what it's all about. A woman should want a man who can protect her, who can protect their children, protect their home. Any good man worth his salt is going to want that as well. Matter of fact, I would say it's wired into his DNA. Mess with a man's wife, mess with a man's children, you will see someone that's capable of doing great and terrible things. So what does a spiritual and emotionally dangerous man look like? Well, he's a man that leads. He's a man that listens to his family, listens to his girlfriend, his spouse, his significant other, and guides them, leads them alongside with them. Doesn't dominate, doesn't dictate. It's not a tyrant. It's someone who legitimately is concerned about the safety and well-being of his family, not only physically, but their emotional state as well. Sometimes we men especially, we're very good at just going off on rants. We get upset about things. We men are fixers. We're hunters, right? It's in our DNA. There's an issue, there's a problem. Okay, we either need to, get rid of it or kill it or solve it, whatever. But and that's, women are not necessarily designed like that. And so a dangerous man, emotionally and spiritually, needs to have capacity. He needs to have emotional maturity and emotional capacity to be able to lead his family properly. If you have a belief system, a religious belief system, you need to be the leader in that. And again, that doesn't mean you dominate everyone, and then it doesn't mean that you try to force it on everyone else. People have to come into that in their own time. And you see, this is exactly what we teach Behind Bars Blueprint. All of our courses, all of our workbooks, we teach, true strength. We teach, there's no fake toughness, there's no rage, there's no violence, all that stuff is nonsense. All that stuff is not productive. I'm not saying there's never ever a time for it, but you have to be extremely selective with that and have the emotional maturity to understand the difference and the time and the place of when that's appropriate. And most of the time, walking away, if it's an option, should definitely be an option. But Behind Bars Blueprint, we teach all of these principles and more. We teach what it takes for men to be real men, true men, effective in their homes, present in their homes, not just physically present, but emotionally, spiritually present in the home. That's what makes you dangerous. And what does it make you dangerous to? Well, it makes you dangerous to going back to prison. It makes you dangerous to screwing up in society. It makes you dangerous on the fact of making poor decisions, right? Your old life is in danger, and it should be. You should never want to go back to that. In the beginning of this video, I showed you what we call the tavern room in my home. It's where we come and people can dine for get-togethers, for Thanksgiving, Christmas, like that. We play board games on the table, things like that. And it reminds me, the reason we set up like that is because I'm a big fan of the medieval time period, as I'm sure you guys, if you've watched any of my videos, know. And it's the old world reminds me of a lot of different things. And in the old world, a man had to be dangerous, truly dangerous. And he also had to be smart. You can be dangerous and dumb at the same time, which, by the way, is a terrible combination. And typically, your lifespan isn't very long when that happens. So in the modern world, we're trained to become harmless. And that's not what we were built for. It's not what we were designed for. It's a harmless man, you'll die a slow, steady death without even realizing it most of the time. You have to make sure that you are dangerous physically, emotionally, spiritually, and you keep it all under control. It doesn't mean that it has to show itself all the time. Matter of fact, it rarely needs to. And that's something that you really need to sit down and take inventory of. Is, does my physical danger need to show itself as much as it does? Does my emotional or spiritual, am I too hard? Am I too abrasive? Again, I'm not saying be weak. I'm not saying to be harmless. I'm saying strength takes different forms. And it's the mature man, it's the emotionally strong man, it's the dangerous man that knows the difference.